It's Saturday night, and it's the Week 18 finale for the Baltimore Ravens. Essentially, a meaningless game for them as they already have everything locked up. They are the number one seed in the AFC, and the road to the Super Bowl in the AFC will go through Baltimore. But for their most hated rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers, it meant everything, as they had to win today to keep their slim playoff hopes alive with some help that they will need to make the games tomorrow that much more interesting. Crazy to believe it's been 18 weeks of these post-game shows, but we got at least one more after tonight. But if you're here, first of all, Happy New Year. Welcome to the official Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. You guys know the drill. Hit the like button and make sure you hit that bell. And if you want to donate, start the new year off right, hit that Cash App, the Flex on One. I got Big Raj with me. It's cold outside, it's raining, it's snowing, but we're heating things up here on the Flex On podcast for the official Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Ravens do lose 17-10, but they will be the number one seed in the playoffs. We want to talk all about it and talk about the new signing of the Baltimore Ravens and what may be some things the Ravens need to do during the bye week as they get ready for an opponent to be named. Heating things up in the middle of the winter, even when it is raining, snowing, sleeting, and hailing outside. It's the Flex On Podcast, official Baltimore Ravens post-game show. Only place giving you sports how you want to, Raj.
When you need it.
What you need right now was the official Week 18. Crazy to hear that out loud. Post-game show, Raj. How are you feeling? I got my boy Big Raj with me. First and foremost, brother, how you feeling? And let's do things as we like to do them here. Let's bring you in the right way.
Finish him, Daddy.
No bread, no water, just meat.
I had a lot of that today. A lot of meat today, as always. Out and about in this ridiculous weather. But feeling pretty good, feeling calm. You know, it was no worries today, man. I was just stress-free watching the Ravens. And although they didn't win, it's okay. But let's talk about exactly what happened on the field.
Yeah, let's get into it. The Pittsburgh Steelers defeat the Baltimore Ravens, actually sweep the season series, crazy enough. Win today, 17-10 in the rain, the wind, the sleet, the snow. Keep their playoff hopes alive, a little slim, but they did have to win today to keep them alive. The Ravens finished their season 13-4. We know they had the number one seed locked up. Pretty much the difference in this game was that 71-yard touchdown pass to Deontay Johnson, which was actually the first play of the fourth quarter. And that led them to the win. Mason Rudolph gets the win yet again. The Steelers, they already clinched Mike Tomlin another winning season. This was that 17 straight for him. They moved to 10-7, third straight win. And now with the Steelers, their playoff scenario, with the win, they would make the playoffs if Buffalo loses to Miami or Jacksonville loses to Tennessee. Will those things happen? We'll have to wait and see. And they also have a chance to clinch if Houston and Indianapolis, which is going on right now, which we'll talk about, ends in a tie. I know I said a lot there, Raj, but looking at this game, how do you feel the game went for both teams?
Well, it went perfectly well for the Steelers because they won the football game. But they had to, put all their starters out there and they had to go full throttle. And on top of that, I believe they lost TJ Watt. Not sure how long he will be out if they do make the playoffs, but that's a big, big, huge piece for them. But, shout out to the Steelers. They got the victory. They got the job done. I figured it would be a tough game for us, especially since we, sat down most of our team today. But they did the thing. It was nasty out there. The weather was trash. But the Ravens, I thought they played okay, especially the backups. I thought Trent Simpson was amazing out there today. He looked
Your
phenomenal.
boy Trent Simpson. You said you liked him after the draft. He had a sack today, and Likely as well. Speaking of your boys, just want to throw that in there.
Yeah, likely had a touchdown. I should have started him in fantasy. I was like, damn, I didn't know he was gonna play the whole game. I thought he was gonna play like maybe a quarter, but either way, he had a touchdown. He looked like himself. Justice Hill looked kind of bad today, but like I said, the weather was trash, so I'm not going to completely go ham on him. Melvin Gordon does what he does best. He fumbles the football when he doesn't need to fumble it, and you can't have that, especially if you're going to be the third guy on the team. But you probably won't be, but because we added a new Raven. I'm sure we'll talk about that pretty soon. But all in all, man, it was a sloppy, uh, lackluster offensive football game for both teams. But I'm just glad that nobody got hurt really, and that we got out of this because we already know that the real game coming up is the divisional game. That's what everybody's been waiting for. Everybody is still waiting for. We want all of our guys to be out there healthy and and motivated. So this game didn't really mean nothing, and even though we lost, I'm not upset about it at all. But I mean, down the stretch, we shall see what the conditions are for that divisional game. Hopefully, it's not like today. Get that out the way, pack it up, throw it away. But yeah, man, I think the Ravens getting this rest today is going to make a huge difference. Not seeing Lamar today is a good thing. I know people are like a little worried about, oh my God, he should have played not today. Especially after seeing TJ Watt go down. I was like, thank God Lamar didn't play. Because I just couldn't take, seeing our quarterback, get smacked and then getting hurt. I couldn't take that. And for the Steelers to lose their best player, that's all.
And
That's all.
that was friendly fire. That was from his own teammate, I believe.
Yeah, his own teammate hit him. So I'm like, I don't want to take the risk. I'm with Harbaugh on that. I do not want to take the risk. So he did the right thing, not playing Lamar and a couple of other starters. But I mean, they all in all, they played hard, which is good. And the defense still held them to 17 points. So it's all good, man. It's all good. Yeah, we took an L today. I mean, it is what it is. Doesn't hurt us, like I said before, but I'm happy.
Yeah, speaking of the guys that didn't play, and thankfully no injury report for the Ravens. But no Lamar, of course, no Odell, no Zay Flowers, no Kyle Hamilton, no Marlon Humphrey, no Kevin Zeitler, and no Roquan Smith as well. Geno Smith did leave with a knee injury, and Deshaun Phillips, who actually had a hell of a game, hurt his shoulder, and Brent Urban was evaluated for a concussion as well. Any thoughts on any of these guys who didn't play or any of these injuries by chance?
No, I heard after the game, Harbaugh said that they were all going to be okay, and they should all be prepared for the next 2 weeks. So no, I think they'll be fine. Just minor tweaks, minor injuries. The typical thing. We just don't want to see no cards, nothing like that come out there today for no Ravens or Steelers. But yeah, man, I think they're okay. They played it safe today. Didn't do anything crazy, and didn't show anything either. That's another thing. They didn't show anything offensively what they might be preparing for in a divisional game. So they got out of it pretty smoothly, like I said before, and all is well.
Real quick to the TJ Watt injury. We even seen this last week. Bradley Chubb goes down for the Dolphins. He's done for the year. TJ Watt, we don't know the extent of his injury, but this brother, before he went down, 19 sacks, leads the league yet again. Surprisingly, though, Raj, he's never won a playoff game. But this man is great. I just wanted to throw that in there, man. 19 sacks. He basically gets 20 sacks a year when he's healthy.
And I will say this. Let me say this right now. If the Steelers do make the playoffs, this brother should be Defensive Player of the Year. There's no, I mean, every year he's getting about these type of sacks, 19, 20-ish sacks. He's never been Defensive Player of the Year. And I think he deserves it. I mean, he's always been a complete monster. Every time we faced him, he had 2 sacks today. Brother, he's just a game changer. This is what he does. And like I said, I always hate playing him because I already know our quarterback is going to get touched by him. So it is what it is, man. Speedy recovery for TJ Watt. But I think he should be Defensive Player of the Year, especially if they make the playoffs.
Well, let's get to that new Raven you kind of alluded to. They sound your boy, Big Dalvin Cook, letting Dalvin Cook Raj. And it was, like I said in the video I did, a little speculation before the season that he may become a Raven. What do you think about the Dalvin Cook signing? Obviously, he was inactive today, just got in town. I'm sure he's still learning the offense. Has another week to get ready. EDC is cooking up something, and he also signs Michael Pierce today to a 2-year extension. I did a short. I told people in the short, this isn't just about this year, because obviously Pierce, but it's about this offseason and next year because they look like they're going to still try to either bring back Matty BK, Patrick Queen, Geno Stone's a free agent, and they do have the franchise tag in their back pocket as well. So your thoughts on some of these moves?
Dalvin Cook, we'll see what happens with him. I know it's a stay ready, so you have to get ready type of move, because we don't know like if Gus is going to be. We know Gus is going to be the number one. We know Justice is going to be the number two. But as far as Melvin Gordon, I have no. I ain't gonna say I have no faith in him, but nah, bro, he doesn't have it, man. He's not that. He's not what he used to be, and plus he fumbles a lot. So I'm not sure about that one. But Dalvin, if he can find a way to become what he was last year with the Vikings, we can get that Dalvin Cook for this playoff run, and we can get him some touches, and he's lighting them up. Then it's a great signing. Um, and also, it might be like one of those signings where you see what he does, and if he plays well, he might be able to come back next year because I'm pretty sure we'll have a spot for him, especially since Gus's contract is coming up and JK is going to be gone, and we already know Keaton's going to be out for most of the season next year. If Dalvin Cook can come in there and play well, he can come back next year, maybe on a more decent contract. So uh, that's definitely for the future. So shout out to EDC for that. He's always looking ahead, which is a good thing. And the same thing with Michael Pierce. This is another thing where he's, looking ahead, making sure the front line stays intact. We already know we have Michael Pierce coming back. We signed Broderick Washington this offseason, so he'll be back as well. And we got, Mr. Jones. He'll be on that front line as well. So if he can add Meta BK, for a good price, he might come back. If not, we can try to go after Patrick Queen. You know what I'm saying? We can bring him back on a nice contract. But we always keeping our options open. We're always making moves for the future, which is a good thing. And EDC is always playing his cards to the chest. So he's doing this thing, man. He's doing this thing, which is definitely a good thing.
Yeah, and like I said, don't be surprised if they use the franchise tag on one of those guys potentially just to keep them for another year, maybe to work out their long-term deal. And that's the reason of having Lamar Jackson sign long-term. You can be a little more flexible with your cap money. All right, Raj, let's get into the game a little bit. I mean, I do want to touch on a few players. Deshaun Phillips had 13 tackles today. I guess we'll go defense first. Marcus Williams had 9. Trent Simpson, your boy, had 7 tackles with a sack. And Clowney gets a sack, reaches his $750,000 bonus, finishes the season with 9.5. And Kyle Van Noy gets his 8th sack, a career high for him. What a godsend. Those two have been on the outside with the pass rush because we didn't know where the pass rush help was going to come from. Always inconsistent. A job of my boy, he's always hurt. You lose Calais Campbell, you lose Justin Houston, but they've stepped up admirably. And looking at Phillips, how about him in the middle of that defense as well? If you do potentially lose Patrick Queen, Phillips, you look at Simpson, you got some options there. Depth.
Yeah, you got a lot of depth right now. That's probably one of the biggest reasons why a lot of the guys like Roquan and them sat out today, because you want to know what you got going into next year. We want to see if Trenton Simpson can be that guy in case we don't get Patrick Queen back. I think that probably is going to be amazing. I'm just saying it right now. From what I'm saying, he has everything that you want as a Raven. He can tackle. He's very, very, very fast, and his instincts, from the beginning of the season till now, have really improved as far as rushing. So if he gets his chance, he'll definitely be one of those guys that shoot up the charts. If you know what I mean. And of course, just Sean Phillips is another one. He was playing well too before he got hurt. He was doing this thing out there as well. So The Ravens need a lot of depth on this team because we're going to be losing a lot of people. We're not sure if Geno Stone is coming back. We don't know if Matabike is coming back or Patrick Queen or a couple of other guys that are free agents this year. So this is another reason why we needed to see what the depth can do in his defense. And they showed up. They look really, really well. So we got to keep this train moving in case, a lot of guys are gone for the remainder for the next year or whatever. But we'll see what happens, man. I was very enthused, even though we lost the game. That's fine. I was very enthused with the defense. They looked extremely well, like I said before, even with the backups in there. And it's a great thing to see because, like I said, we can't give everybody big contracts. Not everybody's going to get paid this offseason. So for the guys that went out there and played their asses off, hats off to them, man. But I think they did their thing, and it was a good move by Harbaugh by making those guys go out there and play.
Real quick for the Steelers, Najee Harris did reach 1,000 yards yet again.
Mm-hmm.
First Steelers player to reach 1,000 yards in 3 straight seasons.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, it's never flashy with him, though, Rogers. Like, he grinds it out. He gets 2-3 yards a pop, might get 5 or 6 there, gets his touchdowns in the red zone, but he'll be a problem along with Warren. Warren is really good. I know Warren didn't have his best game today. He fumbled a little bit. This wasn't an ideal game for a guy like him because he's a fast, shifty guy, but Steelers, man, we call them the cockroaches for a reason, man. They don't die no matter what you do, no matter who you take away. They don't have a quarterback. They got Mason Rudolph, and they're still winning 10 games. And Mike Tomlin, I don't know why people were talking about his demise. I believe the what did they say? The thoughts of his demise were greatly exaggerated because his brother, Omar Epps, whatever you want to call him, man, he's – hold on, let me do that again for the people. There you go. Okay. All right, well.
I mean, come on now. We already know what it is. I mean, that's why they want his demise. I mean, it has to be because this brother he's not lost a damn season in the NFL, and he's been in the league longer than John Harbaugh. That tells you something. He's never lost a season. They're 10-7 right now. He always has his guys playing extremely hard, even though he has a lot of goofy wide receivers. We do know that. They still find ways to win. They still find ways to, make the playoffs. Not every year, but most of the years they find ways. So it doesn't matter if he doesn't have a quarterback. It doesn't matter if he doesn't have a running back or a wide receiver. Mike Tomlin gets the most out of his guys. So, like I told you before, I'm not shocked that we lost to them today. Nothing shocks me with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It doesn't matter who's out there. They're going to find ways to go out there and give it a good run. But other than that, I don't know. But Byron, hold that thought real quick, man. Do some talking. I'll be right back.
Yes. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, like I said, the Steelers, they don't die. They are organizationally sound. Think about certain organizations in sports and the NFL. The Steelers are at the top of the list of consistency. 17 years for Tomlin, 17 straight winning seasons. He hasn't lost more than 8 games in a season. And it's just crazy. I mean, he's going to be there next year. He's going to be their coach. And it'll be intriguing what they do at the quarterback position because they have Rudolph, who's under a 1-year deal. I believe he'll be a free agent. They have Trubisky, who will probably be gone. And they have Kenny Pickett, who they drafted in the first round 2 years ago. He'll be going into year 3, dealt with an ankle injury, but is healthy. So it'll be intriguing to see what they do. I think they could try to upgrade that position. And I do think they could potentially look to try to acquire maybe one of these free agents because they're never bad enough to pick in the top 5, top 10 where they can get a generational type quarterback, but they usually do a great job of filling in the holes. They really never have a down year. They don't really rebuild. They retool, much like the Ravens as well. But offensively for the Ravens today, I mean, it was a struggle. Kind of expected that coming in. Tyler Huntley was 15 of 28, 146 yards. He did have a touchdown. He was sacked 4 times, and he did run 8 times for 40 yards. Gus Edwards, 10 carries for 48 yards. Melvin Gordon, 7 carries for 18 yards with that fumble, as I mentioned. Aguilar at the receiver position, 5 for 39, 5 for 5 on targets as well. Likely 2 for 31 with a touchdown. Justice Hill, 3 for 26. He did have a drop on that first drive, which I think kind of stalled that drive a little bit. They ran that wheel route play that they ran last week against the Dolphins, which was a touchdown. But the conditions, the slippery, wet football, he dropped a pass. Obviously, it was a catchable ball, but it is not an ideal condition to be throwing the football like they were throwing. I think the Ravens threw a little bit too many outside breaking routes for my liking. They didn't attack the middle of the field. They didn't attack the weakness of the Steelers defense, which was the control center, the middle of the defense, up the middle with the linebackers in the secondary. They really didn't do a great job, I think, offensively. But I think to Roger's point, they didn't show too much of their hand. They kind of had a generic, basic pass concept offensively. Trevor had a catch. Kolar had 3 for 23. Raj, I guess since you're back, I kind of ties in. What did you think about the offense today? I thought it was very, very vanilla, like you said. They didn't do really anything I thought they would do. They didn't attack the Steelers up the middle, which they're weak at. They do a lot of outside passes. There were some drops, as I mentioned, that kind of stalled drives and those fumbles. I think each team both had 2 fumbles. But what did you think of Huntley? Because this was kind of an audition for him too, because he'll be a free agent this offseason.
I thought he didn't do too bad, man. I just thought that he was, he was just playing it safe as well. I mean, he was out there throwing dink and dunk passes. He wasn't really trying to throw deep or anything. I mean, he made a couple nice passes that likely and Treadwell. I thought Treadwell had a nice catch, but the ones to Justice Hill, I mean, those were, I mean, I ain't gonna say they weren't catchable balls, but and it's just they wasn't really trying to show anything. And then on top of that, Huntley looked like the old Lamar when he was trying to run down the field and stuff like that when he saw nothing, open. So it was vanilla, like you said. It was just, I ain't gonna say it was ass. It was just like they're out there playing football, they're not
Was it
really
very
like
Giro esque? Very
it
Giro esque?
yeah, very Giro-esque. They wasn't really game planning for anything. It's just Todd Monken just was like, you know what, this is my EF list. Let me just go out there and see what happens with this. While I draw up my real game plan for the playoffs. So I wasn't upset, man. I wasn't mad at all of what they did offensively. They could have literally just ran the ball all game long, and I would have been fine with that. But yeah, they wasn't showing nothing. They wasn't showing anything.
Real quick, I do agree with you, Big Reg. I could see, Raj, I was talking about the Steelers, what they're going to do at quarterback potentially. I could see them going after a guy like Russell Wilson, a veteran guy, pair him with Mike Tomlin. Mike Tomlin's going to whisper sweet nothings in his ear like Sierra and then make him feel good about himself, make him feel confident. And with that running game and defense, he already won 10 games with Rudolph, Pickett, and Trubisky. I'm not going to say it would change life, but it will be, I think, an upgrade.
I think so too. If they get Russell Wilson over there with the Steelers, Lord have mercy. I think that would be definitely a upgrade over Pickett and Mason Rudolph, and good God knows what was that dude's name? Mitchell Trubisky. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, I think it would be an upgrade. But like I said before, we already know the story with the Steelers, man. It don't matter who's on their team, as long as Coach Tomlin is there, he's going to get the best out of his guys, man. So this is why I can't really hate the brother, because he knows what he's doing, and he's been doing this for a very, very long time. And he probably will be a Hall of Fame coach when it's all said and done, along with John Harbaugh. You know what I'm saying? So hats off to the Steelers, man. Let's see if they make the postseason. Let's see if they get some help. They got a 63% chance of getting in, and all they need is one team to lose, or one of those teams to lose. So yeah, I think they'll probably get in there, because I see Jacksonville losing tomorrow.
Interesting. Maybe no Trevor Lawrence. Luke, I think if it rains like that, we'll just have to thug it out, man. They ain't gonna cancel the game. It'll be still going on. Looking at the temperatures, looks like they're gonna start to drop a little bit more each week. So 2 weeks from now, it might be very interesting. And we're going to get to our concerns as well, Luke. The fumbles have been a concern all season, and defensively, we have some concerns that I'll get to as well. But yes, Justin, I did see your comment.
The great value.
It was very G-Row preseason S. That's the best way to put it. Simple passing concepts, nothing that's gonna, like you said, Raj, change life. But let's look ahead. We talked about the signings, we talked about the game. This game really meant nothing for the Ravens. But the game coming up in 2 weeks, you will be in the building. You got your ticket. You'll be there. You'll be loud. I know you'll have some stuff on the channel. I'm sure it'll be a great atmosphere. The second time in franchise history this team has the number 1 seed. We remember 2019. Oddly enough, they played the Steelers last week of the season. They don't know who they're going to play yet. Opponent TBD. They'll play the weekend of January 20th or 21st, that Saturday or Sunday. But how do you feel about this team? Who do you think they're going to play? You can let the people know you actually did a video of who could cause the Ravens the most issues. You did a great job, as always, talked about some teams. And what is concerning you about this team that could be a problem come playoff time? Is it the fumbles? Is it the lack of stopping the run? What is it?
It's the lack of stopping the run. I did a video a couple of days ago of the teams that I think that we might see in the playoffs, and I think I said on that video I believe the Buffalo Bills will give us the most problems, only because one, they have playoff experience. They've been in the playoffs for like the last 3 to 4 years with Josh Allen. We played them before. We lost to them before in the playoffs, but that was in Buffalo. I just think that they're going to be on their A game. They're already rolling right now, and if they beat Miami, then we already know what's going to happen with Buffalo. But also the other team is the Cleveland Browns that everybody's talking about, everybody's afraid of, or somewhat afraid of, with Flacco and the way he's playing right now. I think that's another team to be concerned about. Although I think we can beat them. I ain't gonna say it's gonna be easy, but I think we have a better shot at beating them than the Buffalo Bills. Only because one, Joe turns the ball over a lot. He throws for 300 plus yards, but he does throw a lot of interceptions as well. So that's one thing that you can hang your hat on. And the second point is they already came up here and beat us once. So I just don't see them coming up here and beating us twice, especially since they needed a miracle to beat us that one time. So if we do have to see them, I think we handle them. But Buffalo I don't know about them. They're very iffy. If you would have asked me this like halfway through the season, I'd say we destroyed Buffalo. But Buffalo now, they're getting their act together. So we shall see, though, man. I I I told you before. I still don't want to see Kansas City. I know that you want them in the building. I know that you want to do what you need to do against Patrick Mahomes so we can get
We
that
have
under our
to
belt.
finish our story like Cody, which, speaking of which, might not actually happen this year if you're a wrestling fan. We'll get to that later.
Yes, we'll get to that later because I don't give a damn about Cody's story.
Well, you're getting what you want. You get Dwayne back, The Rock.
Yes, that's what I want. I want Dwayne back exactly, so I can go to WrestleMania happy. But yeah. Anyway, yes. I don't want to see Patrick Mahomes because we already know what he does. He's a 2-time champion. I understand that he doesn't have any wide receivers right now, and that the whole offense is based around him and all this other nonsense. I get it. Trust me. We're Ravens fans. We already know how Lamar has to carry the team. I still think Patrick Mahomes is a dangerous man. When at the end of the day, he's still a dangerous man on that football field. And if the Ravens do not handle their business against him, if they have to play him, he'll find a way to beat you at the end. So I am still afraid of him. Okay. But other than that, man, other than Buffalo and Kansas City, I think we can beat any other team in this in these playoffs in the AFC. I think we can beat any of these teams. I think we're better than most of these teams, and if they can shore up that the run game and not fumble, and also stopping the run, and holding on to the football and key spots, I think they'll be fine. But like I said before, the teams that I don't want to see really, it's Buffalo and Kansas City.
Well, let's kind of forecast a little bit as we get into the scoreboard, and we'll go over the standings. Ravens are the 1 seed. The winner of the Miami Buffalo game tomorrow night, the last game of the regular season on Sunday night, will be the 2 seed. So if Buffalo wins, Miami also, or if Buffalo wins, they're the 2 because they have the tiebreaker over Kansas City. So you would have Baltimore, Buffalo at 2, Miami at 3, the winner of the AFC South at 4. Then you have Cleveland locked in at 5 as the highest wild card. And then 6 and 7 would be between, I guess, Pittsburgh and the winner of tonight's Indy Houston game would probably be in there as well. Like I said, Jacksonville, if they do win tomorrow, they win the AFC South. And of course, keep in mind, everybody, the Ravens will play the lowest remaining seed. So if the 7 seed automatically wins, and it's the Steelers or one of these AFC South teams, they come to Baltimore. If it's one of these, if the Cleveland wins and we get no other upsets, we'll have Cleveland, and then we could have possibly a Kansas City Buffalo second round divisional matchup as well, which is interesting to keep an eye out for. And Buffalo has owned Kansas City. Speaking of a team taking it to the Tribal Chief. What about this game tonight, Rogers? We kind of transition, look at the week 18. I know it's thousands of scenarios out there for teams to make the playoffs in the AFC, but looking at my boy CJ Stroud, I picked the Texans tonight. I think you picked the Colts. They just scored another touchdown. CJ Stroud led a fantastic drive as you were pontificating. They take a 13-3, potentially 14-3 lead, extra point pending. Looks like if they win, they're in. How do you feel about this AFC playoff picture shaking out, and NFC if you want to touch on that as well?
I'm liking what I'm saying right now because we already lost to the Colts, and I'm not saying we ain't gonna beat them if we play them here again, but CJ Stroud is just he's on another level right now. He should be. I believe he should be rookie of the year.
I believe his name has been on it since like week 1 or week 2.
Yeah, exactly. So if they finish out the game, I think probably will be rookie of the year. But I think the Texans, if they hold on, of course they're in. As far as the other spots are concerned, we already know Cleveland is in, Kansas City is in, Jacksonville. I'm not sure about who do they play again.
Jacksonville has, who do they have tomorrow? They play.
Is it Tennessee?
ESPN. They play Tennessee, who's eliminated. And I think CJ Beathard might be starting if it's no Trevor Lawrence, by the way. They're 5-point favorites.
Woo. If Trevor Lawrence ain't playing, I think Tennessee beats them. I think they take him out the playoff picture, which leads Pittsburgh being in there. So I think the Steelers will make the playoffs. So that's another team that's going to be in there. And then who was the other scenario?
You got if Jacksonville does lose, they would get in. Cleveland's the 5, I believe.
Yeah, Cleveland's already in.
Yeah, so Miami. Oh, I'm sorry. The Buffalo Miami.
Right. Buffalo Miami. Okay.
The loser will still make it. There'll just be a wild card. So they'll probably be the 6 because Cleveland's going to be 5. They'll probably be 6, I'm guessing. And then 7 will be the winner of either this game or I'm guessing the winner of this game's in. And then it'll leave, I guess, one spot between Jacksonville and Pittsburgh to fight in for it, I guess.
So I picked Buffalo to win. Miami, I don't know what to expect from them. We already saw what they did last week against us. They pretty much got their asses kicked all up and down the field. They're missing people. A lot of people are hurt. Bradley Chubb is out for the season now. And both of their wide receivers are hurt, Waddle and Hill. So I don't know what to expect from them going into tomorrow. So the safe bet is going with Buffalo since they already put their hands on them earlier in the season and they destroyed them. So, man, those probably be my playoff picks for the AFC. As far as the NFC is concerned, to be honest with you, I have no idea outside of the 49ers, Cowboys, and Eagles. I think the Seahawks are in there, or they might be eliminated. Who else is but the Buccaneers is fighting for a playoff spot, I believe.
Yeah, if they win a division. The Buccaneers, I do know that.
I think the Saints will still have something to say about that too. It's just a lot going on in the NFC. Man. Like the NFC got so many mediocre teams fighting for playoff spots. It's not even funny. But I don't know. It's just a wild, wild west for the playoffs. But this is why we love the playoffs so much because you can beat one of these trash teams, find a way to get up in there, and definitely, um, just be able to not only do that, but you can be garbage like throughout the entire season and make the playoffs. We've seen it too many times for a lot of these trash teams. So in the NFC, so in the AFC, you already know it's going to be a knockdown, drag out fight because most of the teams that are in the playoffs in the AFC are playoff material, unlike the NFC, who got a lot of garbage teams, which is why the 49ers got beat down by the AFC North or most of the AFC North this season. But that's neither here nor there.
And your boy Jordan Love can make the playoffs if the Packers win against the Bears, win and they are in, and the game is at Lambeau. So go ahead and throw your hearts up for Mr. Love. Yes, I know that makes you happy.
You love Jordan Love. Jordan Love is in my fantasy right now, fighting for your boy to win the championship. So I'm rooting for Jordan Love tomorrow. Got love for the Packers. Go Pack, go. But yeah, man, it's another mediocre team. Like I said before, 8-8, fighting for a playoff spot. So it is what it is with the NFC. A lot of garbage teams again, or mediocre teams. But yeah, I don't know.
I mean, yeah, and I think the NFC East, if the Cowboys beat the Commanders, they win the NFC East. If they lose and the Eagles win, they win the NFC East as well. What do you think about the Eagles real quick before we get out of here, man? They've been kind of limping into the playoffs.
Well, let me answer Luke's question real quick. He says, how do you see the Ravens working in Cook? I think Cook will be he'll get limited touches, but I think he'll get important touches, if you know what I mean. I think he'll get like a lot of the Justice Hill touches that he got with the Dolphins game. I just see them trying to experiment to see where he can not only get the ball, but have a chance to use his speed that he wasn't able to use with the Jets. So I think he gets put in in positions where he is able to make a complete huge difference in whatever team we play for the playoffs. That's how I think they use him. Now, as far as what the Eagles go, this is not the ideal place they want to be. Not the ideal place. If anything, they want to do a reverse of what they did early in the season to right now, where they're losing a lot of games, but winning a lot of games late, like how Buffalo was doing, or how the Ravens were doing, and so on and so on. But they're not in a good place right now. They are playing a lot of close games. They're losing a lot down the stretch now. And it's just not a really good momentum shift for them because I think whoever they play in the wild card spot, because I think Dallas got the division now. I think Dallas is going to destroy the Commanders tomorrow. I think they lay down. And I just think that the Eagles, whoever they play in the wild card spot, is going to beat them. And it don't matter who it is. It could be one of these sorry NFC teams. This is the way that their season has been going. It's like they play all these close games. They don't blow anybody out. Jalen Hurts has taken a couple steps back. And that defense is not the same that it was last season. It just isn't. So whoever they play, man, I think they're taking a massive L to next week. And I think they'll be out the playoffs extremely early. The only team that Dallas is going to have to worry about is the 49ers. And if they find a way to beat the 49ers, then I think Dallas makes the Super Bowl.
Ooh. Well, Raj, that is pretty much all that we have today. I don't know if you had anything else before we get out of here. And I guess if we don't, let the people know how to keep up with us. And 2024, man, it's going to be a big year for the Flex Zone. Celebrating 10 years of the podcast.
Yeah, man, 10 years down. A lot of things going on right now. We got a couple weeks off for Ravens. So everybody rest up. Watch these games tomorrow. Watch the wild card games next week. Chill out. Take stress free. Take a load off. Don't worry about a thing. But after the wild card, you're ready. Gear up because it's going to be a wild ride going into the divisional round. We're doing this again like we did in 2019, with hopefully with a different outcome, and it should be fun, man. It should be extremely fun. I expect to see most of the city live. We're going to see those purple lights downtown that we used to see when we made the playoffs. So we'll be seeing them for the next 2 weeks, and it's gonna be fun, man. It is, and I expect to see guys like Ray Lewis in town. You know what I'm saying? Of course, Rice probably be back, and a lot of other Ravens vets to come through and encourage the team. But this is it, man. This is what we've been waiting for a really long time for this team, especially for Lamar Jackson. This is his time to showcase what he has, and get over that hump, get into the AFC Championship game, and show what he got, man. Because we've heard throughout this season a lot of the garbage that's been coming out the media, a lot of the goofiness that came out of our front office early on, and a lot of just doubt and a lot of negativity in early 2023. But after this season, after 18 games, we already know that Lamar Jackson will be a 2-time MVP. And we know that with weapons and an actual game plan and an actual offense that, that holds not only passing accountable, but the run game more accountable as well, that we're one of the top teams in football. So, like I said before, it's gonna be fun. Get ready, gear up for it, but also take a load off, stress free at least for the next couple of weeks. For the divisional game, I expect everybody to bring it. Oh, and if you seen what the real fan dance on Facebook and you ain't screaming your little heart out at the divisional game, you might get slapped by him. So just chill out. It's just chill out, okay? Just make sure you make it loud for whoever we're playing for the divisional game.
I'm sure it'll be live, Raj. As I mentioned, you'll be there. I know you'll have some content on the channel. We're back at it on Monday with the Flex Zone. We will return after a little holiday hiatus. First show of the new year. I believe episode 422, 423, something around those numbers. I'll get the exact number on Monday. But we'll be talking national championship. Speaking of which, I'll do a preview for that. Probably see it tomorrow in your sub boxes. So look out for that. Michigan and Washington. Harbaugh actually heading down to Houston as well, Raj, to watch his brother play and possibly win a national championship, maybe a precursor to what the Ravens could be doing in Vegas, hopefully in a couple of weeks. But as we mentioned, Ravens have the week off, but be more content on the channel. Look for more previews, predictions, maybe an announcement of when we find out the Ravens play on the channel as well. And we'll be live for at least one more time with another Ravens post-game show, as I mentioned, either the 20th or the 21st, when we find out when the Ravens play opponent to be determined. Lots of content on the channel. Check it out. It is the only place to give you sports how you want it.
When you need it.
As Raj has his ice cold beverage. I know he's feeling good. He's home. He's warm. Appreciate you being here. We got Big Reg in the chat. Appreciate you, my brother. Luke, Lazarus. Appreciate you. Justin, appreciate you as always. Charles, Miss Queen, what's going on? Appreciate you. And everybody else who's watching this and to watch a little later. Make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Hit that subscribe button. Back Monday for another week of content. We maybe, I don't know, Raj might be here for Impact next week. I don't know. They're trying to get me to be on this Impact. I don't know. 2024.
Impact.
We're doing it all.
Really?
Apparently this could be their biggest show. They got a lot of major things going on. Hey man, we'll see. I never watched Impact before. This may be something new for me. We'll see.
I tried in 2005 to watch TNA, and I never went back. I was done after one episode. When I saw the little, what was it, a triangle?
Oh, the 6-sided ring?
Yeah, whatever that was. I was done. I can't watch this.
But stay tuned to the channel. Hit the bell, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, donate to the Cash App, the Flex Zone 1, Twitter, Instagram, the Flex Zone 1, and the Flex Zone Podcast on TikTok. And of course, the FlexZone1@gmail.com. Want to be guest on this show? Want to join us for a post-game show or anything like that? As I mentioned, we'll do a national championship game preview. We'll have that out for you tomorrow. We'll talk about it live Monday and preview Super Wild Card Weekend, because we will know as we watch CJ Stroud work out with a basketball and a tennis racket and a fishing pole. Very unique workout. Just had to throw that in there. Yes, we'll be talking about it. We will have all the matchups, the teams that are in, who's in, who's out, and when and where they play. Super wildcard weekend, because just wildcard weekend isn't enough. Big Raj, our social media producer, appreciate you as always, brother. 18 weeks down. We got one more to go at least, but probably more.
That's right. Yeah, we got one more to go at least. So glad we do got one more to go, like I said before. But like I said, stay tuned for more content. Might have some more content for myself throughout the week as well. I'm pretty sure some goofy is going to talk trash about the Ravens. It never ends. It never stops. So we'll see what it is, man. But hold up. This has nothing to do with sports. But if y'all haven't seen that Cat Williams interview from Uncle Shay Shay, check that thing out if you haven't seen it yet.
Or at least just watch the first 30 minutes. That's all you need to see. The first 30 minutes is great.
Yeah.
Let's just say he's dropping truth bombs. That's right.
A lot of them.
Yes. Check out that interview. It is very I'm sure we'll get Pravante's probably input on that. That could be a goofy of the week to start off the year. We got Goofies of the Year on the channel as well. If you haven't seen Goofiest, craziest sports stories of 2023. A lot of content on the channel. So much to keep up with. More to come. I may, like I said, do some more University of Maryland stuff. This Tua situation is still goofy to me. I do want to cover it at some point. And spring training for the Orioles, about a month and a half away. So more coming, and 2024 will be our biggest year yet. Big Raj, we the ones, baby. Thank you. Appreciate you each and every week being here with me. Can't wait to see you at the bank. I know you'll be having a great time. We'll have some more content leading up to it throughout the weeks, as you said. And we'll be here Monday, back live for another week. Thank you, everybody in the chat. We're going to put the kids to bed. Stay warm. If you're outside, be safe. And we'll see you on Monday, if not before then. But always hit that bell. Check yourself back. Tomorrow we'll have a national championship game preview. Peace, y'all. Thank y'all for watching.
Peace.
Ravens, we'll see y'all in 2 weeks for the divisional round postgame show here on the Flex On Podcast.